So my name is Gordon Collins. This is my lovely wife, my beautiful queen, Andrea Collins. We are the co-owners. We're the owners of the nationwide signing service, Precise Signing Solutions.
You said it's Precise Signing Services?
Precise Signing Solutions.
Solutions. Precise Signing Solutions. Okay. And where are y'all located out of?
Yep. So we're headquarters out in Colorado, but we're nationwide as far as the clients that we service.
Okay. And so you are commissioned. Where are you commissioned in?
In Colorado. Commissioned on the state of Colorado.
Okay. And what led you to being a notary? So what's your background story?
Good question. So, long story short, I have a trucking background, so I had a CDL on and off for 6 years. And one of my biggest goals, is to keep it short and sweet, right, is what I call the plantation. I wanted to get off the plantation because it's a job working for someone. And I had so many different, there was probably at least 25 different things that we tried along the way before this whole notary thing, right? And so, we're talking like e-coms, Shopify, Amazon, wholesale,
home selling,
invest in mobile homes, invested in residential homes. We're talking stocks, invested in Forex, anything, everything. Like trying to find a way out, right? Mm-hmm. Just looking for a solution, right? And just stay persistent. And I ran into this, this notary game, and I was like, okay, that seems, pretty straightforward, And I was on YouTube and I've seen a whole bunch of, testimonials, and people was like, hey, you can make money, you can do this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, a notary though, like, a notary really don't, I don't really make no money like this. So I started sort of educating myself, and then now I know, right, what that was is that I was referring to general notary work, and not to say that you can't make money, because you can, but I was so used to the notaries at like the UPS store or at the bank, right? Like they're notary commissions, but like their employer basically like uses them as an employee to like exploit their services as a notary. Basically, they pay them an hourly rate, right? Versus that notary being independent, a 1099 worker, and going out and creating and doing something under their own business, right? So, long story short, I just was like, I want to try something new, because I'm like, I just want to get off this job. I'm tired of working, crazy hours. And I remember, I got started, I got everything, equipped. I got commissioned, and I just remember just taking action. And I think one of and this is me being honest, right? I have to take the self-accountability, right? Mm-hmm. I was a big contributing factor of all the businesses that I failed in prior, right? Because I struggled, right, with the shiny object syndrome. Mm-hmm. Like anything you said that was like trigger words, like, oh, make money, or you can do this, or passive income, or make money online, or the laptop lifestyle. I'm a nomad. I'm doing it. I was just like always on it, right? And I never like embraced the process, the grind, right? And that was the difference with this journey. It's like I finally got to a place in my life, in our life, I was like, I'm gonna embrace the journey, right? And so,
when you came and told me about that,
right, because when I told my wife about it,
So he told me about it,
right.
And my response was, okay, after 25 ventures that we've been on, to getting to time freedom, right? Mm-hmm. Taking back our time. He came to me, he's talking about notary, and I'm like, yeah, they don't make any money. I pay $25 at the bank. I don't think this is it. So that was my initial reaction. And I think he kind of did it a little bit behind the scenes because, he's like, I got to bring something right to her. Like I can't just come with another venture that, mind you, we've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in these ventures that we had. So, he was kind of on the low key about that. And then he came to me and,
Right. My wife is from the show me state. So she's like, you gotta show me.
Exactly.
I want pay.
Right. So bring me a paycheck, and then we'll see if this is working.
And it won't be that. She was like consistent paychecks.
Yes.
Right.
She was like consistent. Right.
And I was like, okay, do that again.
Right. So basically, I just hit the ground running after I told her, I hit the ground running. And like I said, I kept a lot of things away from her just to show it and just to prove it to my dang old self, right? I was like, Gordon, this can't be another situation where you just, throwing money against the wall, hoping to stick. Like, you got to make it work. And so I went out, and I remember my very first, I got commissioned it was in like the end of July, right? And
so what year?
Like, 2020.
Okay.
Of 2020. Yep. And then my first full month, right, of business as a loan signing agent, while working a full-time job, right, I made $4,800. My very first full month. $4,800 my first month, right?
And that's full time working.
Right. So I was working a full-time job and running my business part time, but making damn near full-time income for most people while working a full-time job.
Wow.
So in my job at that time, they were paying, $42 an hour.
Okay.
So it wasn't like it was, so my Andrea, my wife, she was like, before you get too happy about, trying to, transition, like we gotta at least meet, the goal to exceed that income consistently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the second month, right, boom, I hit it, and I made $5,200, right? And then the third month, it was $53. It went up $300 every single month. So it was 48. It was like 50, right? Until I got to the end of the year, like it literally went up each month until the end of the year, December of 2020, right? And then finally, it came down to a point where, we agreed,
Well, he kept asking, like, is it time? Like, can I quit? Like, that was his only question. Right. And like I said, I was like, we have to be consistent. We have to make sure that we're set up right before we leave that job. And that the security of that, because when you're working 9 to 5, it's secure because you know when your paycheck is coming. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to keep up with that consistency that we were seeing. So,
right.
Yeah.
And so I'll never forget, like, it was December, the end of December, when I finally let it go. I created a video in a Facebook group. I showed the tractor trailer behind me, and I was just like, hey guys, I just want to let you know by the end of the year, I'm quitting this job. And I was like, I can't believe I'm about to get the hell off the plantation. Like, I'm really about to do this. And we ain't looked back since. So we've been self-employed since then, And,
amazing.
Mind you, so I just want to encourage, just for this little part, we're going to talk more about that. But like, I just want to encourage people, like, just because you're working a full-time job, or just because you have, we're real life. We have, we're a married couple. We have 2 beautiful daughters, so it's real life with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our schedules are full. And, so basically, I was working my job from about 3 in the morning till about 10 or 11 in the morning, right? And then from about 10 or 11, sometimes noon, that's when I did signings, from about 11 noon to about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Monday through Friday. So I was going all day, like, so it was a sacrifice. Like, we had situations where we had to come to an agreement, like Gordon, like, I'm here.
We had to set boundaries. We had to say, because we were never seeing him. So when you're in a moment of transition, it's just important to make sure that your spouse or your loved ones or whoever's involved with you as you go on this journey, that you set boundaries and you protect them and you have expectations that you can both meet, right? So we would say no signings after 8 o'clock unless we both discussed it and maybe it was a slower weekend. We need that extra signing or whatever the case may be. But that communication was key during that time.
Okay. And then, so after you started full-time, at what point in your transition did you decide, okay, I'm doing well, or this is too much for me, let me open up my own signing agency?
So that came into play is that I was quite literally, I was turning down more business in one day in my signing agent business than I was making in one day at my job.
Wow.
I'll say it one more time. I was not making more in my business than I was making. I was turning down more business, losing more money than I was making at my job. And so it came down to a point where I had to realize, like, you know what? I'm not going to allow a $300 a day job stop me from making $600 a day in my business.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a real quick story, and I'm gonna answer that about the transition. I always envision because I told you this has been a process of a journey wanting to quit the job, right? Get off the plantation. I always envision calling my boss, right, and quitting like this, like, hello, hey, this is Gordon. Hey, what's going on, Gordon? Hey, man, I'm not gonna be able to make it in today. Oh, you're not gonna be able to make it in, man. What's going on? Oh, man, I got an eye problem. You got an eye problem? Man. What's going on with your eye? Man, I can't see myself working for you no more. Click. That's how I always wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I always said that for years, right? I didn't do it because they were good to me, right? I didn't want to burn a bridge. I was like, oh man, you should have. I didn't want to burn a bridge, but you know what? I'm like, you know what? For those out there whose employer don't appreciate you, I don't mind taking. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind taking. You know, we ain't an advocate for burning bridges, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I had to fire my boss. So we transitioned. We when I was like, man, gosh, like we're turning down the business. Like, so me and my wife partnered up. 2 months later, we quit in December of 2022. 2020. We quit our job, right?
Okay.
And then 2021, February, right? Me and my partner, 2 months later, me and my wife, we partnered together, and that's when we created our nationwide signing service, right? And then, if you want to go over the numbers, or do you want to go like our first? I don't remember. She's really good with the numbers as far as like, so our first, like how we transitioned.
Yeah, so we transitioned in February. Gordon was still doing notary signings at the time. And so we were just starting slow. We were like, let's build some relationships. And so we started to do that. And we had a couple people who were like, okay, I'm gonna send you a couple signings. Let me see. And, you know, we started off at 14 signings that month, right? And we thought we was doing good. We were like, all right.
Right.
And it continued to grow. Every month, I think we literally doubled it until, do you want to go into the detail of that right now? Or?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Are you ready for us to go into the details
of
the growth of the signing? Okay. So every month it would continue, like it kept doubling and doubling. And then we actually got a huge opportunity to partner with the top title company in the country. And they offered us an amazing opportunity, which 5 times that, right? So our business, our signing service blew up. Like last June, they were like, "Now get ready." So we had to go through everything to try to hire new people, to do all of those things, and our business literally like blew up.
Right. Mm-hmm. So like to the point where it was like almost damn near unbearable. Mm-hmm. Like my wife would come in the room and call me a dungeon rat because I'm just by the computer trying to fulfill orders. Like, yo, like. You know, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we did pretty good, you know. So, and then, you know, it just started to, you know, progress into this, people started just, reaching out, you know. But I don't want to get too ahead. But that's to answer your question.
That's the transition.
That's the transition, how, you know, that happened and what that looked like for us.
Okay. And as far as like, so, moving on, like the signing services is in the, you know, beginning stage. Did you face any challenges or like, were there any like some hurdles you had to overcome, things you had to get used to?
Absolutely.
Yes, it was a huge learning experience. I mean, no one teaches, you know, we didn't have a hands-on teacher to be like, okay, you got to do this right. You got to, you know, this is what you need to do. You know, we have very general knowledge. And so it was a lot of hands-on. We taught ourselves, right? So the behind the scenes, we used our skills. I mean, like I said, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. And we've been on the journey of doing that. So you use those skills and you bring those skills into it, right? He's great with marketing in the front end and being able to talk with people on a consistent basis. So he handled that aspect. I'm really good behind the scenes with the numbers and the payroll and handling all of the emails and all of that. So we used our skills that complement each other to apply that to the job. So there were definitely some hurdles that we had to learn. It was a learning curve, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely, I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something specific.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's kind of hard to say, like, you got something specific?
What about with, like, hiring the notaries? You say you had to go in and, like, find notaries.
Yeah, that wasn't the biggest thing for me. For us, that was like the easiest thing. Unless they was in a rural area, that was like the easy because we went because of the software we used, right? Because we're like a bigger scale. Like we had a software at that time. We were on signing order, and so they had a database of 60,000 to 70,000 notaries. So as long as we had the address, to the signing, we already had notaries. I think one thing for sure is the quality control, right? Because you got to remember, like, just as well as you've been out, and you've whether with the signing service or hell, even with general notary work, just common business in general. Your name is on the line. They're looking at you, your face, right?
Exactly.
Like whether that's general notary work, whether that's they giving you work through a signing service, whether you're going through a title company, you're going through a lender, right? Like your reputation is on the line. So it's very, very one of the big differentiators between just operating as a notary or a loan signing agent versus having a signing service or a nationwide signing service is the accountability. Like they're looking at you as like, I don't give a dang what happened with this or that. We're looking at you and how you're going to fix it. So it's a lot more. It's zero excuses. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be ready to show up to bat and provide great quality service, right? And it's kind of like, well, how can you govern what another notary in their quality and what they're doing, right? So we started learning, like, you know what, we're going to have to start setting our boundaries higher, like in our standards. So we started vetting and pre-qualifying notaries, right? I would be on the phone damn near quizzing them. Like, how do you know where the interest rate is? Where do they point to specifically on the student and tell me where that is? Tell me specifically where, I can find it. Like, I would ask questions that not necessarily, yes, an experienced notary would know, but someone that's competent that they should know, right? And that's how we started leading them through. And then we would mark the ones that were good, that's preferred, and the ones that wasn't, we just let them be amongst the other people in the list.
Yeah.
That. So that's how that is with that. So it's definitely rewarding, but there's a lot more responsibility that comes with that, and quality control. Having not just, that's a fancy word, right? It's cute, quality control, but having processes and systems in place to govern that, right? And being upfront with your terms of service to that notary. Like, hey, this is what we expect, and if you don't execute it this way, expect this. You know what I mean? So that's what that.
Yeah, and that's what I would definitely say was the biggest challenge is finding those systems that work for us and where we were in our business. So when you come in, you don't really know what do I need to develop, right? But like I said, using those skills that we had, and we started to get better every month and say, okay, this is the system, this is how we're going to run it through, and things like that. So I think that was a challenge that we definitely figured it out.
All right.
Okay, so when it comes to, since you mentioned quality control and the notaries having to vet them, just to mend this signing service and notary relationship, how can notaries help the signing services run better?
That's a good question. I would say number one is, we talk about this a lot in our community. And this is why, we've created, additional resources to help notaries, like, free resources. We have a free guide that we will let everyone to go download. By the time and so we, like I said, we got children. So it's real life. So they make things stay hot. So, it's all good. So, preferrednotary.com, preferrednotaryblueprint.com, preferrednotaryblueprint.com. If you go there, by the time of this, everything will be, up and running. We're still working on it. But we have a free guide, right?
Okay.
And that guide basically goes over like the 5 core principles that we deem from our experience, me personally as a notary, and our experience as signing service owners is like what, bridging the gap. There's a big gap between the signing service world and the title company world versus like the notary world. And what makes us unique, when we're stepping in and adding value in the industry, is like bridging that gap of understanding. Right? It was like, what, there's a lot of misunderstandings and things that they're not communicating. There's a gap, and I'm like, what, it almost just fell in my lap. So download that guide that goes over like the core competencies of what really title companies and lenders and signing services are looking for in a notary to mark them preferred. We're really just giving you the foundation of what it takes to be preferred, because from my perspective, right, exactly. Because from my perspective, if you're not preferred, you're not in the game. Like, especially like in these days in this market, right? Interest rates starting to peak back up. So like, if you're not marked preferred, right, you're going to just be on the bottom list of notaries that are frustrated, that get notifications here or there, and they feel like when they do, they get lowballed.
$35.
Right? Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is making sure that you're working to be preferred. Anything you want to say with that, or before we go and talk about the? Yeah. Also too. I like to give you guys, some sauce, some game. I have permission to give you guys.
Yeah, we need it all. We need it all.
I give you a little bit. So here's the thing, right? There's basically 5 important elements, right,
okay,
to this whole process, as far as like people that are involved in this process, right? And you have the borrower or the signer, the customer, you have the lender, right? You have the title company, you have the signing service, and you have the notary, in essence, right? So it's about understanding the flow, understanding the bigger picture. Oftentimes, loan signing agents are just thrusted into just like 2 categories: signing service or escrow officer under the title company, right? And I'm here to let you know from my experience from signing service owners' perspective, like, it's much more bigger than that, right? There's a bigger field to play in. And so once you understand that from the customer standpoint, right, the customer is the most important piece. It ain't the lender, it ain't the title company, it ain't the notary, us. It's the customer. The customer is the one that's refinancing, buying, or selling. They're the one that's giving business to that, that lender. The lender is then, giving a loan or mortgage out for them to pay back, right? Mm-hmm. So secondly, then is that lender, right? So the lender looks at the customer and they understand, hey, that customer has multiple options, right? They don't have to just come because they've been banking at Wells Fargo for 15 years. They can go to JP Morgan, they can go to Quicken Loans. They got different options that they can go to. So that lender has to make a decision and say, hey, how can I give value and add value to this customer to help them to come with us, right? Same thing when it comes to the title company. The title company is up under the lender, right? The lender has multiple options. The title company, for the most part, they have options. They can pick which title company they're going to go with, right? For the most part. Like, so why do they, like, what makes such and such title company stand out to be able to say, hey, you know what, lender, we want your business, right? That title company has to add value to that lender. That lender, right? Okay, says, hey, I'm going to choose this I'm going to choose this title company because of this. Now, that title company is looking at either 2 options. They're looking at a signing service, right? Because they have a higher demand and that's the value of the signing service to help facilitate that, right? Mm-hmm. Or right, we can look and hire the notary directly, which notaries will call going direct, right? Eliminating the middleman, right?
Right.
Cool. Here's the thing. We have to understand, right? Signing services specifically, right, have to look at the title company. You be like, you know what? There's hundreds of signing services out there. Like, what makes Precise Signing Solutions different? Like, how do we stand out? Like, what value are we adding? Oh, I'm acknowledging this problem, and I not only can just solve it for you, but we can be the solution to your problems. And that's the key difference, right? And now to the notary, right? Mm-hmm. So whether the notary is looking to go through a signing service or they're looking to go to the title company or go straight to the escrow officer and direct, either way, we have to understand that there's a lot of notaries out here. A lot. Okay? If in your zip code, if a signer, what zip code are you in?
78235.
Okay, if someone comes in your zip code, right, and they're refinancing their home, right, and you pop up as a notary, right, and along with you popping up in that zip code within a 5-mile radius, there's 35 other notaries within a 5-mile radius, right? How the heck are you supposed to stand out from all 35 of them?
True.
That's what the purpose of, like, we got to start asking ourselves that, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's the difference between people who are thriving in this industry, right, versus ones that are like, you know what, like, my money a little funny, like, I can't get like the consistency like that, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's the difference, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just want to implore people, like, all notaries, right, everyone has to, from the top, right, all the way from the lender on the way down, they have to prove themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Someone has to answer to someone and say, hey, this is why you should be giving business to me. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking or emailing or communicating with some type of correspondence to whomever notary, whether to the title company or a signing service, you ought to be adding value. So I want y'all to understand too, is that, on a monthly basis, we receive, and title companies receive, hundreds of solicitations. Hundreds. Okay, this is the bridging the gap that we're talking about, because a lot of notaries don't know this. They don't really understand this, right? And on our end, we see the same thing all the time. We see this. We say, hey, my name is, such and such and such and such. I'm commissioned out of this state. Please let me know if you have any signings. My credentials are attached below. Something along that area. Something along that, right? And I'm here to tell you, in 2022, okay, if you're still doing that, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. You're going to have to know specifically. You're going to have to stand out, because it's a whole bunch of black and white. Like, no one's reading all those messages in those paragraphs. They're not. Right? The best that you're going to get is going to be an automatic, a general response like, oh, thank you for reaching out. We'll let you know if there's something in your area. And you don't hear nothing, and you're frustrated and wondering why. Right? That's if they're polite to just try to communicate with you. Right? You gotta be able to know when I look on my email,
it stands out, because all of those look exactly the same. They all start off the same. So you're looking, and you get that little preview. So we read the little preview, and they all sound exactly the same. They're all, hey, I'm a notary in the local area. That same script, right? Exactly. And it's played out. So how can you stand out? I want you to make me, just like on social media when we're scrolling through Instagram, something has to stop. Get us our attention and make us stop. I need something that's going to get my attention and make me stop and open up your email even more to then see, what do you have to offer? What value are you offering to us that we want to send?
Yeah, so like I was saying, so I want to go ahead and give you guys, some sauce and to give you guys one more thing before we transition. In regards to when you're talking about giving value, right? Be sure, like, when you're talking with people, right? You got to understand, like, what it sounds like, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. So this is why we in essence created, what we have, is the preferred notary blueprint. Is basically from our experience, from real life practical experience on what it takes to become, the blueprint on having consistent business, building true relationships, and becoming preferred, right, amongst, multiple different, service agencies, whether that's signing services, title companies, or lenders, okay, whether it's currently in your own market or nationwide, right?
Okay.
And so, so in essence, that's one of the biggest things that, we saw in the industry is that we saw a lot of, anyone can have a pre-recorded video, you know what I mean? And like, a lot of people tell you what to do. Like you can, like outside the red tape stuff, like, okay, go here, get this, go to the internet, get that, that, you got to market, they'll tell you what to do, but we like to pride ourselves on like showing people like how to do it and action steps and like how that sounds like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like, I like to lead by an example, you know what I'm saying? So you'll hear me walking up into the title company, talking with the quote unquote gatekeeper and knowing how to deal with it and manage that situation and get past that situation and get to the escrow officer. You know what I'm saying? It's about learning how to get value, right? And if you're continuing to just, like I was saying earlier, right? If you're continuing to just, if you're calling and say, hey, do you have signs? Do you have signs? Do you have any signs, right? That's not gonna cut it, right? What we teach is, and I'll give you, and this is what I was gonna say. So basically, what does that sound like, right? Let me give people an example. Right, of what that sounds like, right? So basically, when people call, mm-hmm. right, they're typically along the lines of like, hey, my name is Gordon. I'm a notary out of Colorado. I'm calling to see if you have any available signs. Oh yeah, you do or you don't? Okay, you don't. Okay. Well, be sure to add me. Can you please add me to your list? I want to do some more work with you. Something along those lines, right? They're saying something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I'm challenging people to do is like, you're asking first, right? I want you to give before you ask. We teach before you ask for one signing, you need to give twice the amount of value, right? For an example, one of the value adds that I was able to give was that I was mobile, right? And so I was 100% mobile. I printed everything out of my vehicle, right?
Wow.
And so in doing that, right, I just didn't pick up the phone and say, hey, do you got any signs, right? Or, it's cool, I can print from my car. No, that sounds cool, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to expound on what that value is, right? You have to explain what the benefits of printing from your car is, mm-hmm. right? And that sounds a little something like this. ABC signing service. Hey, my name is Gordon. I'm a notary commissioner of Colorado. I wanted to reach out to you, and of course, along with building a long-term relationship with you and adding value, I wanted to share, exactly how I'm able to add value to you, right? And pause. So you people know, right? Understand just on the difference of that, right? When you're calling in and you're able to say and show and articulate that, hey, I have something of value and I'm about to tell you what it is, right? That's along the lines of what you want to be doing, okay? Right. All right, continue. Hey, listen, I'm able to print, I'm able to print from my vehicle. So what that means for you, remember, tell them what it means. What that means for you, the benefit for you is that I'm able to take on those last minute signs, right? Mm-hmm. So that I don't have to, I can take care of that for you. And also, if and when there's a situation where the paperwork is incorrect, because a lot of us know there's paperwork that's incorrect, name spelled wrong, people who got a little bit of experience know that, exactly. Right? So value add is that, hey, listen, I don't have to wait and go back home and inconvenience the borrower or delay the whole process with funding potential. I can step outside in 5 minutes. I can get that printed. We can resume. Right? Like that's an example. Like explaining, or articulating the benefit of what you do. Not just saying, "Oh, I print for my car." Yeah, no. What's the benefit of that? Right? Like what that mean to me? Because you gotta understand, they're just another employee that's picking up the phone. They work for such and such title company, right? But I don't care. They're employee at the end of the day. Like, they're not business owners. We're 1099 business owners, right? They're W-2. The mindset is different. I don't care if you work at W-2.
Exactly.
When you're stepping into a notary, you're a business owner. Period. Operate in that manner, right? And just be sure, like I said, to add value. And that's what it looked like and it sounded like for me. Is that's one example, right? Also, and listen, I'm feeling. Also, I give you an extra bonus, right? When a lot of people, they don't call. A lot of people don't call signing service title companies, right? They'll email. That's safe. Make sure if you got the fear of rejection, that's the safer behind it, right? Let me tell you something. You should be picking up that phone, and you should be calling along with email. Okay. I'm not only going to just tell you that because a lot of people may tell you need to pick up the phone. No. Again, we just don't tell you what to do. We're going to tell you how to do it and what it sounds like, right? So when you're calling, right, people have this misnomer. There's something circulating in this notary industry that you got to have 100 signing services to be able to sign up with 100 signing services. Negative. I had a handful of signing services.
Yep.
I had 4 to 6 signing services, right?
Wow.
That gave me that $5,000 on average a month while working a full-time job, right? So understand that I didn't call just once a week. People, that's what they mess up at. Mm-hmm. People call once a week, once a month. No, negative. I called those 5 signing services 3 to 4 times a day.
Wow.
Yes. And I know the natural inclination is like, damn, brother, that's a little aggressive, ain't you? You're going to be turning people off. Like, damn, like you bothering people. No, I'm going to not tell you just what, I'm going to tell you how it sounds like, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you why I say what I say, right? Number one is that if you're talking to ABC signing service, right? Typically they have more than one employee.
Right.
Correct? So if I call ABC signing service, this is Rick. Hey Rick, my name is Gordon. Hey, even if we just do the basic, not even adding value, let's just go through it and just say like how I started off and how most of us still do, right? Hey, I'm just calling to see if you got any signings in Colorado. No, I'm looking now. I don't have anything right now, but Gordon, if you got something, I'll be sure to let you know. Okay, cool, thank you, bye. I called at 8:01, right? Another notary in your area calls at 9 o'clock. ABC Sign Service, this is Rochelle. Hi, Rochelle. This is John. See if you got any signings in Colorado. Oh, actually, we do. We just had one that came in. Actually, yes. This and this. You see what I'm saying? Here's the point. Things are coming in all the time.
Right.
Speaking from a signing perspective.
Okay.
Signings are coming in and going out. Signings are being assigned and signings are going to be coming in. Like it's like all day. So you coming in and calling at 8 o'clock, right? You calling in at 8 o'clock and thinking that, oh, I called that one signing service, right? That's not cutting it. Yeah. Right? You called that one signing service and you spoke with whoever, John, right? Until you speak with John, Rochelle, Patrick, and Mike,
You're not done.
It ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? Because they got 4 different computers, right? And they got 4 different things going on. All, you know what I'm saying? So I implore people to don't be so, pick up the phone more, right? And be more assertive, right? And if you're wondering, hey, that's great, Gordon. You gave me some great examples, some great tips. You actually gave me some action steps. Now I can hear what that sounds like, right? I can relate to that. You're not just telling me to go market. You're showing me what to say,
what it look like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Everybody makes and says, "Hey, go do A, B, C," right? That's not just. It has to be more than that. Mm-hmm. And this is why people they feel stuck. Or like if they do take a course, they're like, "Oh, I like it. I like this part of it, but there's still something missing." Like I can't get past my fears. Like I don't know exactly. Like I know that I should go do this, but I don't know what that really sounds or look like. So this is why we create the Preferred Notary Blueprint. So the Preferred Notary Blueprint is hands-on. So it's all virtual. It's not face-to-face, but it's a hands-on, live, camera to camera, how we are right now, right? Okay. And it's a boot camp. Right? And so it's designed to make you uncomfortable. Okay? It's designed to, you know what? You're worrying about going over loan documents? Okay, we're going to do mock signings together. Let's go. Show me how to articulate this. Oh, I got some questions for you. Boom, 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 boom. That until we build that and build that and build that, and you're in a safe environment to where my wife and I, we make sure that you're equipped, right? To like, you know what? That's not an excuse no more. You know what? I'm more than equipped to go out and go, to do this, right? And with other things as far as the marketing, we go deep dive, advanced, very advanced things, right? What I talk about is like the surface, very advanced things as far as like, how to really operate and run and have a successful business, right? Not a side gig, right? Not a hustle, right? Because I don't want to get paid like a side gig and side hustle. I want to get paid like a business. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we teach. So people that are worrying like, what do I say? How do I say this when I call and email? No problem. We're going to call together on the phone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to call the signing service and together. So that's the thing. It's like, it's a difference in that, so.
Yeah, nobody's out here doing that kind of training. So y'all are needed.
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We appreciate that. So that's the thank you. So that's where the angle we're coming from. You know what I'm saying? And we just really want to give value. Our heart, this is our way of giving back to the community. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we really want to be able to make an impact, right? And we want receipts. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, we want receipts. I'm like, yo, we know we're valuable. We know we can do that. You know what? But it's not about us. Like, until I see you winning, until I see that you got your direct signing, until I see you start increasing your monthly signings, and you start increasing your revenue, until you got off the plantation, or until now you're still, as a single mom, you're able to do this, and you're able to, like, that's the impact that we're having, like, period. And if it ain't about that, what you doing it for?
Exactly. And so I know you had mentioned the website, the preferrednotaryblueprint.com. Is that where people, notaries, can sign up to join this training, or how can they sign up for that?
So basically, we're going through we typically only, to be quite honest with you, because it's so hands-on and interactive, and we meet specific needs to people, right? It's not just a pre-recorded course. Yeah. And it's a one fits all. No, it's like, yo, I know you by name, you know me. We're face to face and eyeballs to eyeballs.
And the accountability and the progress that we do as well. So making sure that, they can't hide. Get them uncomfortable, making sure that they're growing through the process.
You ain't skipping out. You ain't skipping out. You know what I mean? So preferred notaryblueprint.com. That's basically, so we're doing a launch right now. We're opening registration right now.
On Tuesday for February 22nd, 2022. So 2/22/22 is when you can open up to enroll with us. And we don't offer this all year round. So
so we close the doors after that. So the last time we opened up Preferred Notary Blueprint was last spring. Last spring.
Okay.
So we have to make sure that we can dedicate that time. Because, like I said, we're full-time business owners ourselves. and we travel a lot, so we want to make sure that we can be able to pour in. But if the enrollment by the time this video isn't there, there's always going to be a waiting list. So submit your information there for the waiting list, and you'll definitely be the first ones to know. And join the group, join the community, Precise Signings Community Support Group. We have just real quick, speak about that as far as the community and everything with that, as far as what you
is that on Facebook?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, that's the Facebook group. So we have an open community for notaries to support them. A lot of Facebook groups and a lot of communities out there we find could be very negative in that sense. And so we wanted to create an environment where people can really feel like they can grow and share, right? And a lot of communities, people don't share. People don't ask their questions, because as soon as you ask your question, someone's, oh, why you ask that question? You know what I mean? You see all these negative comments under there.
You sure already know
so,
that. Or they'll be like, you sure already know that.
Exactly. So we want to create an environment and hold a space for people to really grow and to feel safe to be able to do so. So we really protect that standard, in the sense of you won't see none of that in our group. Because if you don't have something positive to say that is going to speak life, that is going to grow someone, then, it's just not a community for you. We want people who want to grow.
Right.
And who want to say, I see you, and let's grow together. Let's grab hands, and I'm going to celebrate you because you did something amazing. And when I share something amazing, I hope that you can celebrate with me. Right. And we feel like, you don't see enough of that. We're all about we're okay with standing out and being different in how we offer our services in the communities that we hold. So those are just a few things that stick out as far as our unique perspective on how to grow in this industry.
Right.
Okay. Well, is there anything else y'all want to add before we close?
No, just be sure to, for those that are brand new, right? Brand new, my sincere and utmost humble advice is because we want to see other people win. We want to see other content creators win. We want to see other people with programs win. Like we want to see people win, and particularly like our people specifically. Right. To be quite honest with you, okay? But so not coming from that angle,
yeah.
Okay? But I implore people to do your research, right? On and know, like, if don't just go with someone that's just going to tell you what to do. Go with someone who's going to show you what to do and how to do it, right? And that's the difference. You should be leaving out of there with whoever's training with an experience, right? Where they can take you where you're standing right now, 10 toes down, and help walk you and guide you to your next level, whatever that is, right? So I explore anyone that's brand new or looking to have additional training. Like, you know what? I'm good on the long dots. I just need somebody to show me like how to network and how to market and how to grow and how to like take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm already at $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. I want to try and go to 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're getting advice from people who have what it is that you want and desire, right? And so that's what I would say, and make sure that you guys make sure you're someone who's really, really, you know what I mean, not just giving you information and putting a price tag on it. Right. Stuff you could have found on YouTube, or you could have found for free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what the NNA is for. They're a helpful resource, right? But the NNA is not going to tell you what we're telling you as far as like how to run, that comes from just experience with being in it, you know. And lastly, for everyone to download the free guide, the 5 keys to becoming a preferred notary in 2022.
Okay. Well, I want to thank y'all for taking the time out, sharing this valuable knowledge. This is definitely life-changing for this industry, for us notaries. So thank y'all for, joining on this interview, reaching out to me to get this out here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us and hosting us in your community and having us on your platform. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. And, we look
I'm
forward
honored
to
too.
Likewise. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.